Okay, look, ready? Let's do it. Here we go. This is the start of the video. Hi, I'm Caleb.
Hi, I'm Darian.
And we're finally back.
We're back.
It's been too long. It's been literally a month and a week and something else and a few days and minutes and times and whatever.
Changed my hair.
Mm-hmm.
Beard got bigger.
Mm-hmm.
We're here.
Yeah, COVID happened.
Yeah.
Life happened. We got very busy.
It was hard to fit this into our schedule, and we're going to try to make some more time for it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all good. We're back, and we are now talking about
top 10 two-player games
that
we have played. We haven't played too many, but this is our little top 10 list for you guys. Since Valentine's Day is right around the corner, we wanted to share with you some of the best games that we enjoy playing together.
Yes. Slight disclosure, two of these games are not exactly two players, but in a way they are, depending on the box that you buy. So, So, we're going to start with number 10, obviously, and the first one on the list is Codenames Duet. So, Codenames is
one of my least favorite ones.
Yeah, well...
It's a good game, and I do enjoy it when we play it.
Well, but you prefer Codenames.
I prefer
just as
Codenames.
Yeah. I think I do too. Codenames Duet is really cool because it kind of has like a little campaign-ish thing where you can kind of difficulty levels of different.
It's difficulty levels depending on what you need to win versus what you get to.
Yeah, and it's
what happens if you lose.
Yeah, and it's like different cities around the world or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyhow, it's a really simple game. It's just a really fun word game, and making it two players works out, I think, very well. But
I think it's okay. My personal opinion is that it almost is too hard and too easy in a way, if that makes sense. Because it can end very fast.
Yeah. Both of you have to be on a great wavelength.
You gotta know. You gotta know the other person very well. It's too easy to lose for my taste.
Yeah, but then
I like a game to last a little bit longer, and if you mess up.
Yeah, but that's what kind of makes it fun is that you can go as many times as you want to. And Codenames in general is just not that long of a game. It's a party game.
Yeah.
So I mean, making a party game a two-player game works out very well, I think. So yeah, I think that's why
I like it, and I enjoy when we play it together because we are in such a good wavelength.
Our mindsets
but
alike a little bit.
I don't think it's for everyone.
No, that's for sure.
But it's a good game.
Yep, Codenames Duet, number 10.
And now we're on to number 9. And number 9 is Jaipur.
Yeah, Jaipur. How do you pronounce it?
Jaipur.
Yeah.
Sorry if I pronounce it wrong.
Right, I don't know.
But it's a set collection game.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're playing colors of cards to earn coins, which gets you points, and then if you play a certain number of cards, you also get bonus points.
Yeah, I think you're just selling goods.
You're selling goods to earn money, and depending on who gets it first, you get higher amounts, and the more you grab from that section, the less amount it is.
Yeah, there's token pools.
Like the first one to grab that row gets the highest number.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like in your faces a little bit,
it's pretty mean.
You want to play it first.
Yeah.
And then in the game too, there's like this little market almost.
I think it is called a market.
Yeah. Is it? And it has cards that you can pull from, trade cards from your hand for, or there's these little camel cards that you can use to trade out for anything in there.
It's a really easy system to get used to.
Very easy.
But yeah, it's almost like you can kind of count how many things are in the whole deck, especially when you get closer to the end, because you're like, okay, I know there's only like a few more gold pieces left or emeralds or whatever it might be. I forgot. It's like spice, leather, clothes, or something like that. Diamonds.
But yeah, it's a really good game, and I enjoy it every single time we play it.
Yeah, and I think to win, you have to win at least 2 of the 3 games, right? Like the first person to win 2.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So you're kind of playing 3 games.
Yeah, it's like 3 rounds of it.
Yeah, 3 rounds. Yeah.
But it's really fun, and I love bringing it to the table.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Jaipur.
Yes, Jaipur. All right, so number 8 is one that we've had for a while, and we don't play it as much as we should. I think it's so easy to pull out, and it doesn't take very long. But that is The Fox in the Forest.
Yes, it's a beautiful.
Yes, I love the artwork.
Game.
Yeah, it's super cozy.
And it's not even a lot of artwork, honestly, on it.
Yeah.
But like the cover of it draws you in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, and this is a trick taking game, so if you don't like trick taking games, don't worry about this. Because it at its very heart, it is a very strong trick taking game. And I'm not really good with trick taking, but now like I think the past few times that we've played The Fox in the Forest, I've kind of gotten into this mindset of, oh, I need to think like so many steps ahead.
Yes.
And you really do, because like you have these ascending cards. Certain ones just have numbers. Some of them, or no, they all have powers, I think, right?
Not all of them.
No, you're right.
Some are just
yeah, it just numbers. Yeah, but pretty much there's 3 different suits, and what you're doing is you're just playing a card at the same, well, depending on who's leading the whole trick. They will lead it, and then you follow suit or whatever. But it's really neat, and there's a lot of thinkiness to it. My mind for a while was I lost every single game, and then the last time that we did play it, I was like, oh, I'm seeing the Matrix. It's like it's all here, and then I was like, yes, okay, bam, I know I'm gonna win. Bam, it's really really cool. And yeah, I think there's like these little point tokens. I think what is it? You get the first person to like 20 something. 25, I think so. Yeah. Then you win, or 26. It's it's a weird number, but yeah, it's a wonderful trick taking game. We don't have a lot of trick taking games, but this is one that I feel like we need to play more. It's really awesome.
Yes, it's really fun, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, so that's number 8.
Number 7 for us is, I think, isn't it like one of the first 2-player games that we really played?
It is. Yeah, I think it was like it might be the first 2-player game that we. Yeah,
2-player only game.
Yeah,
that we
it
played.
is. I think so.
Which is why I think it's always going to have like a little soft spot in my heart. And that is Patchwork.
Yes.
It's this polyomino game.
Yes, polyomino games are awesome. Yeah.
Polyomino game, and it is so cute. You're building this little, is it a quilt?
I think you're making a quilt, yeah.
Yeah, you're making a quilt. And you're going around the table grabbing pieces depending on where you are, because you can only grab the first 3 that's in front of it.
Yeah, of this little, it's like a little pond, and there's a big rondelle of pieces
of
to
all
grab.
the little quilt pieces.
Yeah, but
all
it's
different shapes. And you've got this little board in front of you that's going to be where you're building your quilt, and you're kind of just trying to fill in the spaces, fit the pieces together. They have points on it as well.
Well, the currency
is buttons.
And those are the points too.
Yes, those are the buttons. So
love that.
It's just, it's a cute little game. It's so easy to learn, and it's just so fun.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, it's I think our first 2-player game we got, and we just loved it immediately.
Yeah. I'm surprised that it fell this low on the list, but also we haven't played it that much, and also I think that if we played it more, it would be super super competitive, because I've heard about people who get into Patchwork, and it's scary. People are like, I mean, it's like what's that one game? It's kind of like Carcassonne, where like people can like think so many steps ahead, but those are like crazy. Like we will never get to that point. Like we play. I mean, you do think many steps ahead. I can't really do that. I'm like, okay, what's gonna work for me the most, while also kind of stopping you. But you are like,
well, here's the thing. I pay attention to where the pawn is on the board. I pay attention to how many pieces away, and I always have an idea of what I can choose if you pick something that I needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
and then you also have to be careful too, because whenever you pick, you move that many spaces up on the little time track. But then that means that your opponent can move at that. Like it's a great. Like Uwe Rosenberg just makes amazing games.
Yes. And
this is, I mean, this doesn't fall short whatsoever.
Yes.
So yeah.
Patchwork.
Yeah, cool. All right, number 6 is, we just played it recently again for the first time in a while, and I'm surprised it's kind of this slow down. I think we need to keep playing it more, because it's just chess with cards in a way. But that is Summoner Wars. 2nd edition, by the way.
I was the one that brought up to play this too. Like,
randomly, we were just like,
I just randomly really wanted to play just play it.
Yeah.
Because it was a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
I think I won the last time.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well,
Not this last time, but the time before we played again.
No, I won that one, but you won the most recent one.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyhow, so what it is everybody has these factions that are playing as. There's like these ice dwarven people.
There's the undead.
There's goblins. There's like these cleric people. Yeah, it's. I think there's 6 factions in the box, but there's more expansions that you could buy. The box fits everything. You just need the only thing that it doesn't have are bags to put your cards in. But yeah, I mean, you can just get whatever. Bags. Yeah, or whatever. But yeah, so everybody picks faction, and what you're doing is that you have this nice board that I forgot how many spaces it has, but the cards go horizontally, and then
dependent on who you choose, that's how you set up your little area.
Yeah, exactly.
Every character has a different little setup.
Yeah. So like you have a summoner, which is like the queen or the king.
The leader.
Wait, in chess, what is it? It's it's the king who gets taken. Then that's checkmate. Checkmate's done. Anyhow, yeah. So once your summoner gets defeated, you lose. So it's pretty much just like you have these gates, and you're summoning certain creatures or companions, whatever it is, to fight, and it's really neat because you're moving along this board, just trying to lay on as much damage as you can. Each time that you take out something, you get magic. Magic will you use that to summon things. And yeah, it's really neat. The events are always fun because you're like, oh, you're gonna play that on me, and it's
it's such a fun little back and forth game.
Yeah,
like
it really is.
I enjoy it every time we've played it.
Yeah,
it's simple, and it's like we hadn't played it for a while, and then whenever we grabbed it this last time, we remembered. Like,
pretty much. Like I mean, I had to look up the range, thing.
Yeah, let me explain. I remember.
Oh yeah, well. But yeah, so Summon Wars is really great. We want to get into it more and just see all the different factions and how they work against each other.
Yeah.
But I think now we played with all 6. But just seeing all the differences will be really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, the Summon Wars.
And then number 5 is Unmatched.
Yes, and this is the Unmatched system we're talking about. No specific box.
Yeah, no specific set because you can mix and match. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now this one is not a true 2-player only game. However, it is.
It feels better when you play it at 2 because it's just knocking the other person out and then you win. When you have 4 people, it's kind of a little bit more difficult just because. If one person gets out immediately, that's going to be a long time for you to wait. But it's still an amazing experience, and you can still see what everybody else is doing, and you're still kind of in it.
Yes. But it, in our opinion, it works best at 2 players because you're sitting there back and forth, and like you just said, if it ends, it ends. No one's waiting for their turn or waiting for the other people to finish.
It's just wiping the other person out. Pretty much.
Yeah, and everyone knows how to play Unmatched. I feel like everyone knows how to play it. Like, it's a simple little card game. You're going against each other. You're fighting. Every character has different abilities, different health. Like, it's just, it's a great game.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone has their own deck. Like, you're each your own character. There's different characters. There's, like, Medusa. There's,
Sherlock Holmes.
Invisible Man.
I mean, you get the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Yes, it's really cool.
Marvel.
And they each have their own deck, and they each have their own abilities, and they all have
the miniatures.
The detail is amazing.
It's gorgeous. You don't need to paint
artwork on the cards too. Like it's really really good.
Yeah,
for such a simple game, they really showed care into it. It's beautiful, and we love it.
Yeah. I cannot wait to pick up more sets.
Yes, I want all of them.
We only have the first 3. We don't have any of the Marvel stuff yet. But I've kind of seen how a few of them play. It's really cool. So yeah, that is Unmatched. Cool. All right. So number 4 is one of the greatest 2-player games, hands down, and I think a lot of people will probably put this very close to number 1, and that is Seven Wonders Duel. 7 Wonders Duel is pretty much 7 Wonders just for 2 players.
Yes.
And the tug of war aspect is so amazing.
It's an evil game.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, like
it's either this card or the next. So pretty much the idea that was behind this is really really cool. Like
mhm.
the way that all the cards are set up, it's set up like a pyramid. And then you can only take the very top one, how they're laid out. It's
What
kind of hard to
yeah.
explain, but I'm sure
And
there's
and
images.
and the thing
Yeah.
too is that it still feels like you're playing Seven Wonders.
It does, because I mean, all you're doing is constructing certain parts of your wonder, and I think you have 4 different wonders.
Mhm.
Like everybody at the start of the game picks four wonders,
Yeah.
and then when you finish them, you get those extra benefits.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, it's sometimes you don't know until the very end, and like some people could be working on the military track, some people could be working on the
The
science.
science. That's
And-
how I won that
Yeah,
one time.
yeah, yeah.
Was getting all the science.
Mhm.
It's a fun back and forth game.
It really is, and you just play. I think it's 3 rounds in a way. Yeah, so the pyramid faces one
Yeah, it
way, and then
changes-
it's a little bit different, and then
changes
it's
shape.
yeah. But yeah, it's so fantastic, and Seven Wonders is one of our favorite games of all time.
Mhm.
So going into this, we were like, oh, that we kind of know almost how to play it in a sense. But yeah, I think this
Yeah.
is one of our go-to. Always just want to
Quick
play.
learn too.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. But yeah, Seven Wonders Duel is number 4, so we love it.
At number 3.
Yes.
Excited about this one, and I wasn't surprised to see it this high up.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
It's Caper Europe.
Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah.
Europe.
Europe. Yeah.
Caper Europe, and it's a perfect 2-player game.
It is like okay, everything that Seven Wonders does.
Mm-hmm.
I slightly like this more. Oh, obviously we like this more. Yeah, go ahead.
Simple little game. There's like this board that goes, and there's different locations.
Yeah,
right?
3
Three
different locations. And well, at the start of the game, you pick a city. It's
Yes.
either like Rome, France, or London and something, Barcelona maybe, or something like that.
There's a little person track that will show you how many cards you get.
Yeah,
and
like
who will go first.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you kind of just go back and forth. You hand the deck off back and forth. You
Yeah,
play a
yeah,
card.
Yeah. You pick
pass,
a card.
Play
Yeah.
a card.
Yeah,
pass.
and you're pretty much, I think, picking a crew, or not a crew, but a thief at a
Right.
certain location, and then that begins kind of the whole tug of war aspect, because whatever you do, it triggers an ability. And it's really neat, because right after that, after all the crews are dealt, or thieves are dealt, you now go to gear cards, and gear cards are like extra abilities that each of
The
the
bonuses
crew
that you
members
can
can
add on
have.
top of the crew members. It has to be placed on crew members, so
Yeah.
it can only be placed at the locations that have your crews there.
Yeah, or thieves, but like
Thieves, yeah.
it's the whole theme. I love the heist
Mm-hmm.
aspect of it all. It's very like, I mean, even the artwork. It's super generic spy,
Yeah.
like heist, like sneaking in, and like it's like the little the gun with the little grappling hook,
Mhm.
like the very fictional, silly stuff like that. It's
And to earn points in it, it's so fun to look at the cards and to strategize and try to think ahead and hope that when you pass the deck over to the next person that they're not going to play that card. Because you need it to be able to get this
Yeah.
object, or
and it can be really mean, because there's these burn
Yes.
cards in there, and that means that
you
like
can get rid of
when
someone's
you-
entire last turn.
Yeah.
that
It's
hurts.
mean. It's really mean. Yeah, but like it's cool because it has like the drafting mechanic, along with a little bit of set collection, because like there's certain art pieces at each of the,
Artifacts
or
and
like
stuff.
like there's an art, or there's like a painting, and then there's like a sculpture or whatever, diamonds and stuff, and you just collect
And
those.
dependent on how many different ones you get,
Yeah.
is how many extra points.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's just
Yeah, and like adding up everything is really cool. I think there's only like 4 or 5 different things that you have to keep track of, like the location bonus,
the card
the
bonuses.
card, for each of the crews, and
And it comes with like a little pad where you put in the points based on each category, and then you can add it up. So it's really nice.
Yeah,
And
oh, yeah.
And the storage for the game,
Keymaster Games, wonderful stuff.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's fun getting it out. It's fun putting it back. Like it's great.
That's very true, very true. But yeah, so
Caper Europe.
cool.
Europe.
Yeah. All right, so number 2 is the first, I guess, coin game that we've ever played. Big, well, not exactly. I guess, big war game, and that is Twilight Struggle. Twilight Struggle is a beast of a game that is absolutely thematic in every sense of the word, and it works so well with the gameplay.
Yes.
It's a game about the Cold War. We
Now,
finally
this
played
is a
it.
two-player game, but be prepared to be sitting for a
Oh,
long time. It's
yeah.
not one of those two-player games that you just pull out, play.
Yeah, no. So our first experience, we're still actually in the middle of a game right now.
Mhm.
We had to take a picture of everything because we had something
We were
to do.
learning as we were playing it.
Yeah,
So in turn, it made it even longer, and
Exactly.
we just didn't have the time to finish the game. So
exactly. But like already, the fact that this is number 2 and we haven't even
Mhm.
played a full game of it, it's wildly amazing. I mean, it's so
the strategy that you gotta have in this game, it makes it feel like you're actually like directing a whole war.
yeah, it's
Like,
really
it's-
wild because each so every card. So it's very weird. Like the turns are called rounds, and the rounds are called turns.
Yeah.
It's a little
That's
strange.
why it took a while. Like we were learning while playing.
Yeah,
Now, we're gonna probably
yeah.
still be learning while playing until we play it maybe a third or fourth time.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the rules overhead, it sounds more difficult than what it really is. Like
Mhm.
like once we understood it, we were like, oh,
Yeah.
we just had to get our mind over certain things.
We were thinking a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But so one person plays as the USSR, one person plays as the USA, and you have these cards in your hand that either benefit the USSR or the USA. And what's really cool is that dependent upon which one you play, certain events will go into play and will either benefit one or the other. And it's very scary because you have to think so many steps ahead in the sense of like, if I do this and they pick my event, it's like, all right, am I going to lose so much control over, I don't know, France or what, wherever it might be. But it's really, really cool because you have all these locations around the whole world, and we're learning about the Cold War as we're playing it.
Yeah, it teaches you. It's really
does.
cool. It's all history based.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole glossary in the back that just talks about
My
events.
favorite thing about the game is that there's like the main part of it that you're dealing with, but there's also like these little side quests in a way that you're trying to focus on, like trying to get to space.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean, there's a space track. You kind of want to go to DEF CON, whatever, so that people can't do certain coups in certain locations. And there's like these realignment rolls, which you're just trying to. It's pretty much numbers based around every single part. Like there's like these numbers that you're just trying to manipulate and trying to have more control over one person. And then when you have these scoring cards, you have to play them at the end of that turn. And then once they're played, it's a legitimate tug of war of points.
Yeah, and also some of the cards get completely discarded.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
out
If
of
you
the
play
game.
it as an event, it'll get gone. It's really hard to like. I mean, yeah, teaching this game, it took a while for me.
Yes.
I mean, I read the book so many times, and then I watched the video. And I was like, okay, hold on. Yeah. But again, once I got over it, I'm like, I should have understood this from the get go. But it's wonderful, and yeah, for it being our top 2 spot makes so much sense.
Yep.
So that is Twilight Struggle.
Number 1. I am definitely not surprised.
Yeah.
At all. Like,
yeah.
I love this game.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And that is
Arkham Horror.
the card game.
Yes, Arkham Horror.
The box, like the box for the card game itself.
Well, the original, the first
original
printing.
is 2 players.
Yeah, unless you buy another box, then it's 4.
Yes.
Or you get the revised edition.
So that's why we put it in here, because to us it is a 2-player game.
Yeah. And, I've heard a lot of people say that it plays best at 2.
And we've talked about this game a lot. It's been in a lot of our videos recently.
Yeah, true.
It really has.
Yeah.
I think in the last 3 of them. I really
almost.
do.
Well, something like that.
Yeah, but it's Cthulhu.
Yeah,
It's
H.P.
H.P.
Lovecraft.
It's a card game where
It doesn't feel like
it's a story. You're going through an entire story while playing this game.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, so in the first box, I think it's only 3 different scenarios out of 1 campaign. But this game is, once you start really getting into it, you can go and buy so many other expansions, and it keeps going. And
changes it.
Yeah.
Like, play it different. Like, it's different almost every single time you play.
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
basically,
really great.
in
Sorry,
it, you all get these. What are they called? Are they investigators?
Yeah, I think they're all called investigators.
I
yes,
think they're all
yes.
called investigators.
Yeah,
You
it's just
each
like
get these investigator cards
mhm.
to choose from, and then you go into investigate. I think the first scenario is you're going into a house to investigate.
Yeah, it's the main detective's house. I
the
think.
main detective's house.
Yeah.
So you're going in there to try to uncover. Is it a murder?
No, so you're trying
was
to
it?
just you're trying to get out of the house because it
Yes.
gets locked. Like your
Yeah.
door disappears.
Yes, you get
And, well,
stuck.
spoilers, but
Yeah, but basically you get stuck and you're trying to get out of the house. And while you're going through the rooms, you're flipping cards to reveal if things are in there.
Mhm.
There's some monsters that you got to end up fighting. There's gear that you can find to upgrade your investigator.
Yeah. Oh
it's,
man.
it's a role playing game.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're,
It feels definitely much like a role.
yes, it really is.
Yeah.
We love it so
Mhm.
much. Like,
Oh yeah. So like after the first scenario, we got to upgrade me.
Mhm.
I think you didn't. I actually got a debuff because
Yeah.
I had to let my whole place burn
Mhm.
and instead of saving it.
Yeah.
But and then in the second part, I think you're on the streets of Arkham. I think
Mhm.
you're or whatever. But it's so sprawling. Like there's so many locations that you can go to. And it's like, okay, I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to
And
search
it actually has a lot of suspense. Like
It does.
You're worried, you're freaking out,
Mhm.
you're stressing. Like it's
yeah,
a
because
very immersive game.
it is, and especially with the whole token bag, I love that instead of rolling a die, it's like
Yeah.
reaching in a bag when there's so many more. There were so many tokens that you could pull out of there.
It's scary.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it's a wonderful game. I think
It
the
definitely
rules
deserves to be in our number one spot.
Yes, yeah. It really does, and the rules are not that hard for it.
Very simple. It's mostly reading the cards and stuff too.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot
I think-
of like you learn as you like play.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what does this card do? Let me just read the
Mhm.
book or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you're pretty much understanding
Yeah.
from the get go, and it's wonderful.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we agree.
Number
This is
one.
number one.
Arkham Horror, the card game.
Yep. So, all right. So tell us if you liked our list. That is it for us today.
Thank you
And,
guys for coming back and watching with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank
So-
you guys so much. And if you liked this video, definitely give it a thumbs up.
Yes.
Share it with your friends and maybe even subscribe.
Yes. And happy Valentine's Day, and we will see you all in the next video. Bye.
Bye.